Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live. I thought I'd confuse you, Andy, with the numbers.
With the numbers.
Happy. I've got two screens going here, so one I'm like 30 seconds behind on one of them, so I need to sort of distract, not look at it. Happy Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Are you all ready to go? Christmas, or still last bits and bobs?
Wow. If it's not, it's too late now, man. I'm not going shopping at stupid o'clock in the morning or night.
Yeah, last minute buys tomorrow. Always things like Trafford Centre and stuff. That'd be crazy. All them places. Yeah. Well, London. It won't be crazy in London, will it?
Well, are people going to follow all this crap that's going on? I mean, I suppose they have to if the shops are shut. I guess whether you want to go out and you can't actually go anywhere because it's all shut down anyway, innit? But I don't know.
Well, it's just when they seen they made the announcement. Was it on Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon? I think Boris made the announcement, and people just were literally with their suitcases going straight to Euston and stuff like that, getting the hell out of there.
Apparently, all the trains the next day to Manchester and Liverpool were sold out because people were just going, and then that's why they had to come on the news and go, "If you've gone away,
get back."
But yeah, don't go away. If you're packing a bag, don't pack a bag. If you've gone away, you're going to isolate for 10 days.
It's because what's happened is the people who've got the virus, and it's debatable if people got the virus, a different conversation, they'll cross-contaminate other areas. It's a bit like you're a scientist and you put your gloves on in the screen in a little like a little cubicle, and you got the petri dishes. You don't mix that with another sort of like exam you're going against, or some kind of experiment you're going, and that's what's happening. So I think this is me looking from the outside in. They realise what's happened in Manchester. I could be wrong or could be right. It seems to be working. I live in the heart of Manchester. I wander around Manchester, and I see that people are beginning to self-serve. I know there's probably things on the internet where people are being sort of not wearing masks and sitting next to each other, but no, what I see in the city centre of Manchester, Trafford Centre, all these places like this, everybody's sort of like doing it themselves. Wait, I've seen one person, I walked through a door, this lady and gentleman stood back about a metre or two, let me walk through the door, this person walked past, I acknowledged and thank you, and the same was happening. So that was sort of like, people are slowly saying, do you know what, we need to listen, otherwise we're going to be 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th fucking lockdown. People have asked me, are we going to be in a lockdown in January? Are we going to go to tier 4? Hopefully we don't go tier 4 in January, but
I think the whole country is going to go into lockdown on Boxing Day because Andy Burnham was on the news. He was on some sort of stream yesterday, and I tuned in and I was like, what's he got to say for himself? And he was just doing a Boris, and he was just going through all these graphs and figures, and they were saying that we have been coming down because we've had this tier 3, and we've just started to see a spike now. He's saying we can't confirm if we've got any of this new virus, this new strain in Manchester, but if it is, then this is why it's gone up again. And then I'm not sort of carry on watching it. I'm going, what is your point? Why are you showing us? Are you going to turn around and tell us something that's going to affect us? And no, he just put something on me. He just went, just be vigilant and just this, that, and the other. And then he went, And then he went. Then he went on to, oh yeah, so you might have seen last week the announcement about the police chief sort of thing. And I went, oh great, yeah. So it's really about that. So I watched it all, and he had absolutely nothing to say. I thought he was going to prep us for some sort of rule.
It's probably sort of like it's like hi, Katie.
Yeah, sorry, Carlos. Yeah, go on.
I think it could be sort of like you just said, prepping us, or just like a warm call, like saying, "Oh, he's mentioned some," because you alluded to that, but he didn't say that. So it's sort of it's like a warm call. It's like, oh yeah, I anticipated that. So it's not like it's like, oh yeah, I thought that was going to happen, so I'm not going to be pissed off. I was talking to, I got into I became Andy for the day, where I was talking to someone on someone else's, good job with someone else's Facebook feed, about COVID. Because someone says we need to do another lockdown, and I just thought this will be the third lockdown when it goes ahead. It looks like January, February. It's clearly not worked. So I sort of referred to what Einstein said. The definition of insanity is doing something over and over again and expects a different result. So clearly, lockdowns aren't working. We need something else. Either I'm not the answer because
we're still treating it like it's the flu. We're not treating it. So the reason why China's done better than us, and I think possibly Australia, they changed tactics. They're treating it like a SARS virus.
Well, you mentioned Australia.
I'm not sure what the difference is, but
Australia have now sort of scrapped their vaccine process. I put it onto our social media group, our personal one, and it's not like I looked at it for, is it a conspiracy theory? I started getting this from different articles and journals from other. So they've scrapped it. I think they spent close to $1 billion on it, and because people were getting false positive HIV results. So that's the bit where people need to look at, because I think you'll probably get in one or two, and I go, well, it is what it is probably. But then a lot of people started getting false positive HIV results. So Australia have just thrown it away. I know they're not using the same vaccine we're using. I understand that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you do, Carlos, because I was following one of the school mums home last week. Just want to say hi, Commander Kremen. Thanks for throwing us these subs again. Hi, Mr. Paris. He's online as well. Yeah, sorry, Carlos. I was literally following one of the school mums. Their son is in the same class. Yeah, well, yeah. She was talking to one of the school dads. Stalking. No.
Okay, so
no. But she is a big anti-vax and a big it's all a conspiracy, it's all made up type of thing. In fact, I could tell you some stories of what the child came out with in school. I know. Let me tell you this. But I could tell you some of the things that the child came when they all went back to school. The teachers went round and went, every single child is there. I shouldn't be saying it, but because the person, if they're listening to this or see this, they can work out. I've not mentioned names or nothing, but if they watch it, they can work out. They know it's them. But they went round each child and they went, is there anything you want, new teacher, anything you want the teacher to know about yourself? And they went round, and this lad stopped and he went, yeah, I just want to tell you that the COVID's not real. And then
is it a child said that?
Yeah, 7-year-old. So anyway, I'm walking along, and I think I'd just overtaken them, and cause my daughter wanted to catch up to her son who'd run off ahead. They both run off ahead. So I was walking fast, and she says to this guy, "Oh, so China have stopped the vaccine because people are coming out with HIV." And I just turned around and went, yeah, but you do know that it's not the same virus, that it's not the same vaccine that we've got. It's their own vaccine they've been working on. And she went, oh, right, okay. And it just goes to show you that these people will pick anything up without getting the whole full story and then we'll just regurgitate it to the next person to make them worry.
That applies to certain people, not all people. Like,
Oh,
I will get information.
Dude, I'm talking about the masses, because the masses aren't like us. The masses, you'd like to think everyone thought sanely, but they just don't. They just take it and they regurgitate. I've done it myself sometimes.
There's things I've gone completely. My God, I got that fucking wrong. I look a cock there. But there's things like the vaccine. I believe in vaccines. So, but it's sort of like the dark arts which is behind it. There's certain dark arts. There's certain people who would be profiting massively from this. And it's also, I got a funny feeling it was rushed. You know what I mean? Because we've probably been working on vaccines for stuff much more stronger than this, and we've still not come up with it. So
they've been working on COVID, because COVID is a thing.
Yeah, because this is the seventh COVID. This is the seventh COVID.
Yeah, so COVID-19 was just a strain of it. So they've been working on COVID.
Well, COVID-19 was the year 19.
Yes, but that was just a specific strain of it. I'm not saying it was the 19th one, and I know it was named after the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been COVID. That's why bottles of bleach say it'll kill COVID on it.
Our COVID, the one we're talking about, that's the seventh COVID. There's been six before it.
Yeah, it doesn't. What my point is, it doesn't matter how many, but there's been a few. So they were working on, just like every now and again, the scientists will go, "Oh, can we crack the common cold?" and they still can't. So it's the same thing. But anyway, let's go away. So, Mr. Paris, didn't think you'd be on this week with all the stuff. Yeah, Christmas. If it ain't done now, it's not going to be done. Kate should be wrapping presents. Yeah, my internet went down last week, so I literally had to stop working. I couldn't do anything, and I went downstairs and I just went, right. Lily was still at school. I just went, right. Let's get the presents out, just start wrapping them, and we just did them all. And then the internet came down.
I think you and I as well. I had to sort of like.
It was the day after. It was the day after. It was Thursday. So you had trouble on Wednesday, and then it was Thursday. My internet went down, so I did all my wrapping.
That was probably FBI and MI6.
I want to leave it till tomorrow. I need sleep. Oh yeah. Oh, mine was up at 5:50 this morning, and I went in and I turned the light off and I said, "Go back to bed," and she just got up and started doing stuff in the dark instead. 7-year-old.
Obviously, go back to what Kate just said. I bet you her house is perfect for Christmas, because my youngest niece is 9. I'm not sure she believes in Father Christmas, but the others are a lot older. And it's sort of like when you've got kids who believe in Father Christmas, it brings Christmas back. When it's just sort of adults, it's just another day. But when you've got kids who you go to bed or write. I used to write letters, and my mum still kept all the letters I used to wrote to Father Christmas. I think I was 21 when I stopped believing. 21 years old, yeah, 21.
We should be sat here reading those out, Carlos, right now. That is what we should have been doing. Next year,
there'll be all conspiracy theories.
No, next year, Christmas special. That's what we're gonna do.
In fact,
do you know what, Carlos? I bought you a Christmas present.
Kryptonite.
But no, it's not. And you've literally I forgot about it because of lockdown and restrictions and stuff. I've just not seen you. So I was gonna.
Oh, I can't see it. It's covered.
Oh, can't see it because of the thing. There you go. Can you see that?
I can see the world's worst
conspiracies.
The world's worst conspiracies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. So
yeah, so it's a book. And it's got
I would debunk them and then get better conspiracies out there.
I'm the debunker. You've swapped roles. What's up?
No, the thing is, I always think there's conspiracies. There's true conspiracies out there, but people put stupid ones out there to discredit the good ones. For example, there was a documentary I watched which I thought was going to be serious, talking about UFO abductees. So I thought, there's some ones where they said, oh my God, you need to shoot him. So they spoke to a woman. Her husband went for milk and bread, and he came back as a fish finger. And I thought, you fucking assholes. That's like, but there's people out there who have had experiences, and they'll give okay, it sounds credible. I'm not saying you believe it. But then you got people say, yeah, my husband came back as a fish finger. I'm like, what are you doing? That's what people.
Was
That's what
that in the Sun? Was that in the Sun? Carlos.
Yes.
Guess who that book's by? Mike Rothschild.
What's that, sorry?
Mike Rothschild. It's by that book. Can't make that up, can you? Rothschild. They're in
Oh,
on all this.
the Rothschild.
Yeah, Mike Rothschild. Carlos, I've just got to stop you there. Let me do some chat room. Commander Kremen, he's not wrapped any presents and he's had them for 2 weeks. I don't believe Commander Kremen wraps any of his presents. I reckon he gets his wife to do it. Kate's little one's definitely going to burst with excitement. I agree. I've not got to be too loud because little one might still be awake and hear me talking about it. Did I miss any chat? Yeah, Carlos, we've got a. You don't know this, but we've got a groundbreaking sort of announcement. What is it? Like an announcement? What do you call them? Where it's like
breaking news.
It is breaking news. It's breaking news. So little birdie told me you were on the phone to them the other week, telling them about some sort of abduction experience.
What's Nick been telling you? Nothing to do.
Yeah, I want the full story because you phoned me a few times and you've not even hinted at it.
Well, what's Nick been saying to you? He says, "Have you told Andy?" I've been like, this is where Andy, you tell Andy and Nick something, and they will completely change it around. It's like
I don't know what it is other than. Yeah,
so I do things with
drum rolling for you now.
Is that what Nick told you?
Yeah, he's not giving me nothing. He just went, "Have you heard Carlos's latest?"
Right,
and I went, "No."
So he probably rang you. So Kremen can drum roll. So for about the last 6 months, remember I had that experience about June the 12th, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think we put it on the bonus. Malarkey, I think we did. So for the last 6 months, I've been trying because I try and recreate it. So follow my footsteps. What did I do? What literature I was reading? What state of mind? What the room looked like? What I had on TV? What music I had? Just trying to recreate it. And I started doing things with. Remember reading things through mirrors and lights and reflections and stuff like that. I remember reading stuff because I was just trying to do. So for about 4 or 5 months, I was doing things via lights and mirrors. And for the first month or so, it just wasn't working. Then about month 2 or 3, things started happening where I was getting the room was getting all these lights because it was getting these vicious lights. I'm talking like spectrums of light blinding me. I thought, well, that was quite scary. I felt quite scared. And then about 2 or 3 get going, and this started happening a lot at night time, just playing with mirrors. So I get to a point where there'd be 4 of me in a room, but I'm using mirrors and lights and stuff like that. So there's me in here, but lights is beaming spectrums. And then I think about a week ago, and then I was talking to.
Is this that picture you put of you? You went, "Oh, look at the phone in my bathroom" or something.
Yes, just that.
That makes some sense now.
Do you see how powerful them lights were? Can you show? Can you show that on the? Can you show it on the screen?
I'd have to go and find it, but
it'll be on our personal group.
Hold on a sec.
It'll be on our you and I thingy talk personally.
Yeah, go. You carry on chatting out. Go and have a look for it.
So basically, and I was just getting all these lights, and it was blinding me. And then I was sort of like you start getting these kind of goosebumps. For there's something not right here. There's something happening, but I was getting scared, but not intimidated. So I stopped doing it. And I spoke to my niece, because my niece is a very spiritual person. She's gone to these kind of places where shamans, you disappear for a weekend and stuff into the woods, and you're with nature and the universe and stuff like that. I was telling her experiences. Oh, you're on the right path. And I said to her, if something appeared, I would shit myself. I was scared because if someone just appeared out of nowhere, you're gonna jump. And I remember telling a story. It's a sad story, but I'll tell you anyway. So it gives you an idea where it come from. When my dad was dying of cancer, because my dad was telling me he had terminal cancer, he had 6 months to live, and obviously told me and my sisters. And then during the last, say, month or so of his life, we were just having a father to son chat, and he said, he just sat with me and goes, would you like me to visit you now and again? I looked at him and thought, what do you mean? He says, no, I'll just drop in and visit you when I'm gone. I just, yeah. But I said, don't scare me. He says, no, I'll tell you what. My dad used to love the sound of this bell, and it used to be a little bell in his house. And he picked it up and he went, ding, ding. Every time you hear that bell, I'm around you. So you will never be scared. And I always remember that. So if I hear that sound, I've heard that sound once before, and he says, I'm around you. But then my niece said the same kind of thing, says, ask them to appear in a way where it's subtle and it's not scary. So I was in that kind of mindset, and I started seeing, same process with the mirrors and the lights. I started seeing images, but slowly, like, I won't say pixelated, you know, sort of like creating. So it wasn't like, boom, it's there next to you or something. And I started seeing things, and there was no sort of communication or anything. I looked at it, and I could say, yes, that's happening. It's happening. Because I said, appear, I'm ready to, in my mind, I said, I'm ready to, but don't scare me, don't intimidate me, just appear in a way where I could sort of gauge you. And things started appearing. It was probably the size of probably a foot, probably 14, 15 inches off the ground, like a little image. And I could see it because it was like whitish. It was like white. It was an image definitely because it was waving. It was sort of looking at it with all these lights going on.
What was the image?
What's that, sorry?
What was the image?
It was a small. The first one I saw was like, the best way I describe it is a bit like the Michelin Man, but not that kind of Michelin, but small and like whitish, but sort of like a little bit like the Michelin. It wasn't the Michelin, but it was like looked like the Michelin Man because it was morphing from items. It was converting other items into some kind of image, and I looked at it. It was just there for about 60 seconds or so, and I said, I saw it, says, okay, I'm going to turn around and introduce myself. As soon as I turn the lights off and move, bang, gone, the whole thing. But then 20 minutes later, when I switch it all back on, it appeared there. It appeared. So, but it didn't communicate. It was just showed itself. And then, what's that?
How long ago?
About 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Right.
And then another image appeared. I changed positions, I changed mirrors, different rooms, and another image appeared. And it was the same thing. As soon as I sort of like turned around, it disappeared. But it was there. It was there. It was like the images were being created and stuff like that. I don't know if you got the image, but I'll show you the way the reflectors were working.
I can't find it anywhere, man.
So I tell you what, I might come off Twitch. Let me send it to you privately. So you can
All right, I'll keep my eye on the chat room.
1 second. So if I go to, did I not send it yet?
You did. I can't remember where I saw it. I thought I saw you tweet it or something. Or I've looked on Facebook. I've looked on our chat. It's not there.
Right. Okay. I've got it here. I found it.
Commander Kremen R6 is a lion on Christmas Day. That's because you're so excited, Commander.
I've got it. I found it. How do you want me to send it through WhatsApp or?
Have you got the email I sent you this link to?
Not on the phone, no.
All right. Send it to. Oh, it might have been WhatsApp. You sent it me on.
So do you want me to send it WhatsApp to you now?
Send it to WhatsApp, aye. And then I'll find it. Well, I didn't check WhatsApp.
1 second.
Did you not think to get a picture of this image that you were seeing?
I needed more hands.
No, this image that you were.
I couldn't. My hands were occupied.
All right.
It wasn't ready to talk.
Yes, he's in the chat room where his hands were.
So
I know Commander Kremen's already typing.
Right, let me open this. Okay, so I'm back in. Okay, so now I've just sent it to you. So that doesn't do it justice. What I've just sent you doesn't even do it justice. That probably 30-40%. It was brighter, sharper than that. you see it?
Yeah. One sec. I'm gonna get it so the guys can see it.
These are the lights what are appearing from my mirror, and it's reflecting onto my phone everywhere in the whole room. So I had a second within about an hour. There was a type of music I was playing in the background. I was playing Barber's Adagio for strings, the original version, and also there was a piano loop which I was playing, which played by Bearheart, believe it or not, the one who sort of started it all off. And she was into three people as well. That music she was playing, she was three people in one. She was appearing in three different places. Talk about irony. And but this image was looking back, not just sort of, but then as soon as I said, right, I'll sort of introduce myself or something, it just disappeared. I tried doing it the next day. I couldn't. I was physically, mentally shattered. I spoke to my niece, says, no, you'll be drained. I tried to get to that stage. The next day, I was drained. I couldn't do it. I tried about half an hour. I was absolutely shattered. Couldn't do it. This went on for about 8-9 hours. So I probably started at about 8 o'clock. It probably finished at 5-6 o'clock in the morning. I was drained, absolutely drained. And I tried it the day after. Couldn't do it. I lasted 25 minutes, half an hour. Stop. I couldn't do it. My mind was tired. My eyes were faltering. I just couldn't see. I was like being blinded. It's like somebody shining a torchlight in my light. I couldn't see it. Well, that day, that's the. Have you got it?
Oh. I will share it.
The alien visitation story. It wasn't a visitation. It's not visitation. It was. I don't know what it was. It was clearly some kind of illusion through lights and mirrors and stuff like that.
Right, 1 second.
Because Nick, Commander again is talking about what was it, tripping? Because he does all this meditation stuff, and for that last 10 years, and he's got nothing out of it. So he's like, he thought, but how have you done it within months? Well, you're still there, Andy. I've lost you.
No, you've not lost me. I'm just sharing that. So that was your image, mate.
So basically, just to clarify to the people watching and listening, that is probably at 30-40%. I couldn't, because the moment both my hands were occupied, so I had to sort of balance an iPad on my sort of chin, and then trying to just with my cheek press the click button to take a picture. That was probably the 50th picture I took. All the others were just blurry. That I lost a lot of the focus, about 30-40%. So just to give you an idea, these are the kind of reflections, lights appearing from my mirror, reflecting onto my phone and all around the room. Now look at that. That was weird. That's weird. These are the lights flying from everywhere.
Yeah, weird, man.
You need to get a ring cam or something.
Oh, let me switch back. Need to get a what?
A ring cam. Some kind of probably is it GoPro or something.
Oh no, it's like a ring light, I think. You know,
Bobby Shafter says hello. Evening, gents. Evening, all.
You like that. Hold on. Yeah, you want something like that. I don't know if you can see it, but
you're going all weird.
It's like a ring light. You see it?
Yeah, I can see you're going all like woo.
Yeah.
You've missed me a story, Bobby Shafter. My visitation. What's it say? What kind of bulbs? I have. What's it one you plug into the ceiling? What's it like? So spotlights. Is that what you call them? Spotlights?
Yeah.
Yeah, spotlights. So it's spotlights. But it's weird. It's like over the last 6 months, I've just been playing with certain, because I try and do it at work and stuff. It doesn't work. Or try and do it when I went visit my mum. Spotlights doesn't work. But also that works with spotlights. Also, I've got the normal, the normal bulbs, what you ever call them. That creates weird images as well. But it's only when you're in a certain mindset. GU10s? Good question. I don't know. You just I just buy them from Asda and stuff like that. So would it make a difference?
It's not like I thought it was your case cover that was doing something.
No, it's just the lights, reflection of the lights and stuff like that. So it goes crazy. It goes crazy when I'm in that sort of mindset. It goes crazy. Oh, and another thing, what started, which is the sort of symbols. I sent a picture to Nick. My clock stopped working in the living room.
Yeah.
At 9:45. Also, one of the lights next to the mirror, the socket, started being charged. Like I started, you sort of like. So I had to sort of change the switch lights on like that, bang it, because it was getting charged.
I'd get your landlord to have a look at that.
But now it's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
So it's fine now. So I mean, that's what I mean. For those 6 or 7 hours, the socket was charged. It was charged. It's like I was like, fuck, that's like. But then now, if I go to it now, it's fine.
Crazy, man. Commander Kremens mentioned, if you scroll up on the chat, you don't need to, about the Israeli scientist stuff that, well, I think you mentioned it last week when it was literally just me and you.
It
last
was.
week. Yeah. Hi, Bobby. Sorry, I didn't say hi to Bobby. I know Carlos did. I was too busy trying to work out how to share a picture for Carlos and stuff like that. One sec. What, the Israeli one?
Do I know about the Israeli one? Yeah.
Is that what you're going to? Is that what you're going to say? Answer your question. Is that what you're going to?
No, I was just going to finish off what I was saying before. It's basically, I don't know what it was, but there was some form of illusion. People could say, if you look for something, you can see it, or you can create. Your mind is a wonderful thing. So it's like, for example, when you go to a court case, everybody has amazing memory and amazing eyesight. But when you ask someone, what did you hear? Oh, I didn't hear anything. But when you're in the court of law, I remember every conversation, sort of verse and verbatim. What happened is something happened for those 2-3 minutes across an hour or so. I will not be able to recreate it. I was physically and mentally shattered. Absolute. Nick was saying, did you wake up? I said, after I finished that, I went to bed and zonked out. Gone. I was wiped out. Gone. Because he said he's done Nick said he's done meditation and he just wakes up. But I said, no, that's it. I know what I'm doing. I'm lucid. But I'm just, I was shattered. And I'm not being able to create it for it's probably been a couple of weeks or so. And
that's because you've got your energy back. And a couple of weeks ago, you'd been housebound for like 4 weeks because you were ill. And you hadn't got your strength back up, and it was all delusional.
No, not delusional. I was in a different state of mind. I put my guard down. I was talking, if you want to call it telepathically, but I let my guard down because it's like, some people can be hypnotized, some people can't be hypnotized.
Yeah.
So what I did, I went, go for it. But I don't mean, and I didn't mean it in a negative way, like take advantage or anything. I just thought, I'm ready now. And since then I've been a bit guarded because it was a great experience. I think I rang Nick the next day, and I think I was on the phone for Nick for about half an hour. But yeah, it's like first he said, "Have you told Andy?" I said, "No, I'm not spoke to Andy yet." I said, "Andy will try and debunk it." But I know what I saw. I was lucid. So I was literally
when it comes to stuff like that, how can I debunk it? Yeah, I mean, I could go through a list of all sorts of things of why people say they see ghosts, and say it could have been one of them, down to you having a mental episode or something. But I'm not going to do that. If it's something you believe happened, you believe happened. I don't think it was aliens or
No, no, I'm not
whatever.
saying aliens. I'm just saying something was happening which I cannot explain. I didn't say it was alien. I just said there was something happening which I let my mind go and go, okay. Sometimes you have to sort of let your mind go and absorb what was, because I've been reading over the last, say, 6 to 8 weeks, I've been reading a lot of Terence McKenna. Terence McKenna is the leading guy on DMT, mushrooms, and all that kind of stuff. So some of the stuff he was saying, which is quite interesting, some of it was quite scary, some of it was quite funny. And I was taking advice what he was doing when he's sort of gone through that state of consciousness. And that's the thing I just wanted to do. I was scared that, because Nick was saying some stuff where, and also scaring me, but it might have come across as negative, was to say, oh, what happens if you passed away? Well, why would I pass away? It's like, and he started thinking, it's like, oh, what happens if you don't come back? What do you mean I don't come back? Say, it's like, you're dead on the couch. Why would I be dead on the couch? It's sort of like,
what happens if you don't come back?
That's what you said. I thought, why would I die? Why would someone say that? Why would I die? Why would I die? And it's like, so obviously you don't need that sort of mindset going in. And that one day, I sort of put my guard down. I took my advice from my niece. I remember the story my dad told me. And I just thought, I'm ready, just to see things. And things started appearing. It was like, the best way to, it's like, like a scene from Star Trek when it's just sort of like, these sort of like they beam people in.
Yeah,
it was like that. It was morphing. Say there was a box there, the box would morph into something. You know what I mean? This is it, and that's what was happening.
So you've definitely got something going on. I'll tell you something else that's going on while we've got people on the chat room. I'll come back to the chat as well. What we've got going on, guys, is a competition on Facebook. It's basically, you see these logos that are rotating in the middle. I've uploaded a few of the logos to our merch store and created a few t-shirts and stuff. There's links on the pinned posts on the Facebook groups, so you can go and have a look at the merch store. But basically, just by being a follower on Twitch, you've already got yourselves like a free entry. You just need to comment in the on the Facebook post to say that you're following us on Twitch. If anyone's watching this on YouTube, when this gets uploaded to YouTube, again, if you're subscribed to us on YouTube, do the same. Go over to Facebook, tell us you've subscribed. That's another free entry. Another way is so we've got the YouTube, we've got the we've got the YouTube, we've got the Twitch. If you tag some people in a post, you can get on Facebook, you can get another entry in. So that'll be 3 entries. And to get a 4th entry, leave us an iTunes review. And if you've already left us an iTunes review, great. Just tell us you've left us an iTunes review, and you can get 4 entries. And literally, there's like about 9 people have entered so far. So your odds are quite high in getting a T-shirt with the logo. I was wearing the T-shirt a couple of weeks ago. If you prefer one of these logos that you've seen on the chat, let me know, because we can upload that especially for you and create a one-off unique T-shirt. But at the moment, I've got the ones that are on there. I'm going to put some more pictures up actually on Facebook so you can see some of the logos that are already there. So that's what we've got going on. Back to the chat. I
think Bobby's just said, have you got a loose natural Carlos? Looks like you've got a loose natural Carlos.
And yeah, Commander Kremen says you've definitely got something loose. Mr. Parry says, are you sure you're not having a silent migraine? Because it sounds a bit like what he experiences when he gets migraines, strange flashing lights, and you feel exhausted.
I'm actually creating these. So nothing's happening now, but then I go into certain kind of mindset, certain kind of process, and then it starts happening. It's certain music, and the key things are mathematics and certain types of music. Mathematics is key. I need to start reading and going through mathematical equations. The one thing I was just showing, I was telling Nick, is sort of like with the mirrors and it was like it was crazy because obviously I know you're doubling up the mirrors and all that kind of stuff, so you can get 3 or 4 of yours. But then it was just sort of like you're stepping out of yourself, you know, with the colours and the mirrors, the images, the position. You're sort of stepping out of yourself, and that was quite scary because it's like so you got three of me, then I'm stepping out of myself. Do you know what I mean? So it's like me, and it's like I'm stood still. Do you know that? I don't know if people do TikTok on here, but you know, TikTok, they've got that kind of ghost thing where it's ghost and then they step out of each other. That was happening, but I was about an inch out of myself. So I was doubling, so I could see 4 of me.
It's like you're having an out of body, or not out of body. Yeah, you know where you do that trance and you can leave your body. What's it called? Remote viewing.
But this is, it was just like an inch out of myself. One color, it's weird. That's the thing. That's happened a few times, but then that thing what happened to me about 2 weeks ago, that was the best experience. But I'm not being able to get back to that.
Yeah.
Because my body was absolutely drained. And the key, I tried to replicate it was music. That's why I said I was doing mathematical equations. And then I was doing, because that's what gets my mind racing. And then I had Barber's Adagio for strings. The people who don't know what that is, do you know the ending to Platoon when he's running and he's the background? You know, Platoon? That's the music. It's a favorite.
Your video's frozen again. The bugs from last week have come back, Carlos.
Can you? Is it? Oh fuck! Let me just turn off the camera and start again.
Yeah. Kate, you'll be back in a sec. Yeah, you're back, man. Hey, I'm back in my natural state. I'm back over on the left-hand side.
I'm back.
Kate, have you started wrapping your presents yet? Are you watching this on your phone or something? You just put your phone down and wrap some presents. That's what I'd do.
So 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 5. Was I in rapid eye movement? No, I wasn't rapid eye. I was
not rapid eye. REM.
Rapid eye movement. That's what he means by that. You're thinking of the band. That's what I'm assuming, unless I'm wrong.
No, it is. Yeah, you're right. It is REM is
rapid eye movement. So no, I was lucid. I was awake, but sort of shivering, but not scared. Sort of like shaky. I was very shaky. Very shaky.
Yeah.
So no, I was lucid. I was wide awake, because I know I was wide awake. So I was sort of scared as well, but not scared in an intimidating or evil way. Scared is like I don't know what's going on now. It's like it's new. It's new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's exciting. So it's new. I don't know what to. If something happens, I need to just accept it and just deal with it.
Kate's on her phone, but the kids aren't asleep yet, and they'll be on the naughty list in a minute.
Bobby says,
"You know what? Right, we got 1 full day tomorrow till Christmas. Right? It's so easy, isn't it, to get onto the naughty list within the next 24 hours. Yeah, if you're on the naughty list now, it's almost impossible to get off it in 1 day in 24 hours and right all your wrongs. I was thinking about that today.
Repent. Huh? If you repent, you'll be all right.
That's just what.
That's my Roman Catholic.
Yeah. Oh, I've murdered 12 people, but I repent so I can go to heaven.
Just pouring a drink. 1 second. What's Bobby Shafter said about trance similar to dreaming state? I'm not read it yet.
Oh, I missed that, Kate, about if anyone knows how to tune a guitar. No idea. Scrooge did a pretty good job.
What's that?
Scrooge, yeah, but he didn't. He only changed for 5 minutes, didn't he? He only changed for 5 minutes. But yes.
So Probably have to say it sounds like you're going into a trance similar to when he goes into lucid dreaming state. Probably.
You're well behind on the chat.
The thing is yes. The answer to your question is, if you ask me how do I feel, yes, I remember everything. I was lucid. I remember the whole 8 hours. But there was from about midnight to about 1:30. That's when it was sort of going. I was quite all scared. It was like things were happening.
Crazy, man. 8 hours.
Sounds about right, Bobby. The mind is a powerful thing. Of course, it's a powerful thing. It's like I'm probably opening up things which have been blocked off. But like I was telling Commander Krem or my RO mate Nick a story about. I was on the phone for about an hour. Like when I was younger, I used to have sort of visions and things when I was younger. You know what I mean, so I think that's probably for another day.
You just let the cat out of the bag there, that Commander Krem is Nick.
Oh yeah, probably. Sorry.
He was enjoying his anonymity or whatever it is. But if you've not, I definitely have let it out of the bag.
So
when he comes back on, don't tell him. I think he's dropped off.
So I was
or everyone just go, hi Nick.
So I was there when when I was younger. I used to have visions when I was younger as well. So it's followed them all my life. But it's only when I got about to 18, 19, 20, it disappeared. So it was about early 30s, it sort of started reappearing again. So for about 10 years, it just disappeared. My crazy years.
Carlos, do you want a little bit of a quiz?
Let's read these and then I'm up for a quiz.
Right. Okay, you could read them at the same time. But the quiz is, can you guess where this background image is from? It's a photo I've taken. But if you can guess where it's from.
UK?
It's not UK.
I want to say Norway.
Oh, I can see where you're coming from with that. Bobby Shaft of Canada, I can see where you're coming from with that. See if anyone else guesses. Mr. Paris or Kate.
The Alps?
It's not the Alps. So what have we had? Norway, Canada, USA. Kate is going USA. I tell you that Norway is closer. Don't think Mr. Paris has had a guess yet.
Norway's obviously next door to Sweden, Denmark.
I'm saying it's closer, but I'm not saying it's right.
Shetland Islands.
Shetland Islands. No. It's quite warm when you go there.
Germany.
No, not Germany. It looks very Germany, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You literally won't.
Spain.
Technically it's Spain, but not Spain. Not
Malta.
mainland Spain.
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar's not Spain. Gibraltar's
it's
British.
English. So Spain.
So Kate says Spain. Sauna. Never heard of sauna. Mr. Paris is going to go with the Alps, but Carlos said it. It's Tenerife.
Ah.
So
Tenerife.
The red rock. See this red rock?
Yeah.
Or reddish rock. That's actually. Other shoulder. That's actually like lava flow. And this is when you go up. So obviously Tenerife is a volcanic island. It's like Tenerife is a volcano basically, and you go up there and you get this forest, and then a couple of 100 feet above the forest, you get that high that the forest line actually just stops. Trees can't grow above a certain height because it's just too high for them. So the trees stop, and it's just like desert moon rock. So I've got a few more, right? So let's go. This one should be easy. These are just my backgrounds at work.
That's like Canada. Oh, America, USA.
Snow on the ground.
USA.
Okay. Right, USA, whereabouts? Commander Kremers to Scotland.
Am I right, USA?
This is a different. This is not Tenerife now, Bobby. You can't. Yeah, unless he was just telling Commander.
USA, fucking. Where's that place? Oh, fuck's sake! Where they do all the Grand Canyon? That part of the world. Where's Grand Canyon?
Grand Canyon, yeah. Well done.
Is it Grand Canyon?
Yeah. Did you know it snows at the Grand Canyon?
Yeah. That's why I thought I looked at the rock formation.
I didn't. Hence, I'm wearing shorts in that picture. we got this is going back 8 years. We got a coach tour from Vegas. We're at Vegas for like 2 nights. We got a coach tour from Vegas, and just takes you out there, and the guy says, "Oh yeah, wait, there might still be snow." And you're like, "What? We're all wearing shorts because like Vegas is in the middle of the desert. It's crazy, man." Okay, I'll give you another one.
Where's Whistler?
Whistler's in America. Is it where they go skiing and stuff? Don't know. Here we go. Let's have this one. Takes a second for it to update.
That looks like Media City, that. Manchester.
Spot on. Bobby's just saying Canada every time. Yeah, Whistler. Oh yeah, Whistler is in Canada. Yeah, it's Canada. Isn't that where Dumb and Dumber go? So,
that's Aspen.
Oh, it was that was it. Yeah. Right, here's another one.
That looks like one of my dreams. It's like our memories stretch further than the road that lies ahead.
Commander Kremen might get this one because it's been on TV.
I would say Scotland then.
And Mr. Paris will definitely know this one. It's not Scotland.
Northern Ireland.
It is Northern Ireland.
Oh, it's the famous thing where it's meant to be quite haunted, isn't it?
I don't know if it's haunted. Is it haunted, Mr. Paris? I'm not sure. But these trees are like ancient trees.
Carriages racing down it. Is that correct?
No, I don't know. But you're not supposed to drive down it anymore. But while we were there, cars nearly run us over. It's one of the scenes out of Game of Thrones was filmed there.
I thought this is quite haunted. This part. I could be wrong.
They're called the Dark Hedges. Is what it's called.
Awesome.
But yeah, all the trees look like that. It's really it's Ireland. Everything's haunted.
It's an old island. There's an interesting story about Ireland. I don't know if Mr. Paris has heard about it. Just off the coast of Ireland, there was meant to be a superior race of beings that lived there called High Brazil, just off the coast of Ireland. I don't know if he's ever come across that. High Brazil.
I've heard of High Brazil. Brazil. Wasn't that one of the myths of Atlantis?
They actually say Atlantis could have come from that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so it was a high race of beings. They spoke in frequencies.
Yeah. This place here, Carlos, I wasn't going to show this picture. This is the type of, if we do a more local road trip to test our waters, one we can do in the day, this will be one of the places we go to. So this is local.
My mum's washing line. This.
It's massive. It's massive.
Chester.
No.
Summit Bank.
You can't quite see actually, but my daughter.
Looks like you went home.
My daughter is right. This is massive. It's absolutely massive. My daughter is like, you see where these ridges are? Here. Sorry, here. Hold on, I'm trying to point and move at the same time. See these like ridges here?
Yeah, I can.
So
I bet look at
I would be probably as tall as like maybe. Hold on. If I was to stand next to it, just trying to get it so you can see my hand. I'd probably be about that tall.
Looking at
stand there. This thing's massive.
The sort of the windmills in the back, sort of like the solar panels. So I'm saying probably. I don't know. I was going to say Scotland again.
It's all little. No, it's not Scotland. It's all little blue at night. It's Haslingden, which is near Bury. It's called the Haslingden Halo, on top of one of the hills. In fact, they've got it's like an art thing. They've got on top of all the other hills. There's all different things. There's one that's built and it's all these circles, like not circles, like pipes. And as the wind blows past it, it's sort of like blowing. You know how people blow the pipes, and it just makes all these random weird noises. I've not been to that one. This is the only one I've been to.
Can you see it from the M61?
Yes.
It's all connected. It's all connected. Wasn't it, Parrot? Yeah. High Brazil was just slightly off.
Not the 61. It's not the 61. Sorry, go on. Talk about High Brazil.
Mr. Parrot said it is all connected. It wasn't connected. It was slightly off. And they were just a superior race which found the rest of Europe quite barbaric. So they separated themselves. And the literature I've read, obviously that's all I know through literature, it said it disappeared by ascending into the sky. That's how it disappeared. So read into that as you will.
I can't remember enough. I have heard of them, but I can't remember enough. It's off the M66. You can see it from.
What, High Brazil? Off the M61?
No. Commander Kremen says, can you see it from the M61? It's the M66. Have you seen the pipe thing at Blackpool when the tide is in? I don't think I have. I was at Blackpool doing we drove through the lights the other weekend. If you look at some of our old streams, you can. I've got my camera in the car. I think the only person that watched it was Nick. He kept trying to ring me. Raise your camera up a bit. Raise your camera up a bit, and then the feed had cut, and he'd go, "Oh, was that me ringing you?" So that was quite funny. Looks like an unfinished satellite dish. At night, it looks like a UFO. Anyone recognise this place? Is it next to the swim? Oh, it's next to the swimming baths. I walked around there as well. I didn't see it, Kate, but I'll look next time I'm there.
No, I don't recognise that. Is it Cornwall?
This is not Cornwall. Been on the TV.
It's clearly not the White Cliffs of Dover, is it? So.
Not far, you're getting closer.
Is it in the middle?
It's in the middle of Cornwall. It's Dorset.
Devon.
It's West Bay, and it's where normally you'll see the shot is from the beach coming this way, and it was where what was that film? And it had the guy who played Doctor Who in it, David Tennant. Not a film; it was a TV series, Whitechurch. Never watched it personally, but it's where that was literally. So we've been camping there since I was 10 years old. We just keep going back because it's an amazing place, like all around there. And went back a couple of years ago after that. Whitechurch had been on the TV, and literally you sat on the beach. It's a pebbly beach, unfortunately, not sandy, but you sat on the beach, and people were literally driving up, getting out of the car, walking onto the beach, taking a picture of the cliff, getting back in the car and going, just because it had been on a TV show. Because David Tennant's walked on that beach. It was like, yeah, crazy. So
people are sort of fascinated by science and nature, but we're fascinated, but then we sort of go back to our materialistic world. It's weird.
Yeah.
We want all the mod cons, we want all the technology, but we don't care where it comes from. Is that it's like a food, obviously.
This is for Bobby and Commander Kremen.
I was going to say, it looked like
Jurassic Coast. That last picture, yeah, you're right. Go on. What was it? Look like?
It looked like, because I've been there. It looked, but I don't think it is. It looks like Roslyn Chapel, but it's not.
It's not too far from Roslyn Chapel.
Because I've been to Roslyn Chapel.
I've never been there.
I'm going to show you something. 1 second. I'm not disappointed. 1 second.
Cool. I'll keep you entertained. So, in fact, if I move my head, there's some really cool ruins. And these are all ruins at the bottom.
So, can you see this?
Yeah.
So, these are the things I got from Roslyn Chapel.
Oh. You got? No, we can see it.
Yeah, so...
You took the photos illegally, or did you buy it? Have you bought all that?
These ones are the ones I bought directly from Roslyn.
What's the metal thing? The knife?
That's the Masonic knife they had, because they were part of the Freemasons. So
are you allowed to buy that?
I bought it off one of the guys who worked there. But yeah, I didn't steal it. I bought it. So basically, I was taking pictures in there, and I got my friend who's an artist to frame it all for me. Look,
Oh, got you.
all that's Rosalind Chapel.
I remember you telling me about.
Yeah, because I was in there, and he was sort of like, the tour guy absolutely hated me because, it was like, he was saying things, I know I was correcting him. Oh, that's wrong. That was that year. Oh, that was Oliver Cromwell, because Oliver Cromwell stayed there.
Your sound's gone a bit tinny, dude.
Can you hear me now?
We can still hear you. It's just gone a bit tinny.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's probably just your microphone, just trying to adjust to where you were in the room.
So it's just because the guy was talking about, because I was talking about Oliver Cromwell, how he was stationed there, how the family, the French family, came over and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, you cringe, you get it wrong, and how all these different things inside there, where the master killed the student, because you've got pillars in there. One was an amazing pillar, what was done by the students. The master was so jealous that the master killed the student, and what they did is they put like a gargoyle on top of the corner of the Rosalind Chapel facing the master's work, so he'll always have the students staring at him. All that stuff is true, and they weren't talking about it so I was nicely interrupting. You see the guy goes, well, you should fuck off, you know what I mean? So, because I know a lot about it. So I spent a whole day now, it was about 6-7 hours. I bet he couldn't wait for me to fuck off, basically. Because I was like, oh,
how long was the tour?
It's probably about a couple of hours. But because
you dragged it out to 7 hours.
Well, because we could stay in there, and it wasn't busy, and they weren't kicking us out. As long as the people were spending money, or spending money in the coffee shops and stuff like that. Because I wanted to, because they said, under no circumstances can you take pictures. You can't take pictures. So I was doing the old thing where, you just take your phone out of your pocket and go, oh, Mum, I'll be late today. All that kind of stuff. So I've got pictures, and I've got pictures. I will put them on our Facebook. I've got pictures. I'll find them. I've got them somewhere. Crazy. So there's pictures of me that I'm walking around Rosalind Chapel, going into hidden rooms and stuff like that.
Rosalind is on my hit list for one of our mystery tours when we go to Scotland. And we can't go there now because you'll be on some sort of wanted register.
Oh, no. They loved me. That guy, the tour guide probably despised me, but everyone else thought I was amazing. Because they were asking me questions. So what happened here? What happened there? What happened? So if you're a tour guide and you're charging £30, it's not like a quid. It's like 30 quid. Yeah, if you went to a concert and you paid 30 quid and it was a bag of shit, you'd want a refund.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True. Sorry, there was a guest for this church or cathedral, whatever it was. My memory is so bad. I can tell you where it was. At St Andrews. I don't think it's called St Andrews, but it's the one in the middle of Dunfermline. Is the one it is. So is that the same one, Bobby? I know Bobby said St Andrews, but yeah, my cousin got married there, and I had my drone with me, so I got a few snaps. I've only got one last one, I think. That's my picture.
That looks like some kind of satanic burial ground.
This.
Some kind of druid shit. Are you into some druid shit, you?
No. Do you know what, Carlos, you know how close you are with druid shit? Do you know how close you actually are?
Is it in that part of the world, the West Coast? Are you being fertilizing my daughter?
It's not far from that picture where I took at the beach. No, it's a bit further from Stonehenge, but it's
Glastonbury.
Literally, no, it's a bit further. It's literally a couple of miles from the coast, from where I took that other picture.
So okay.
And no, the picture where I was at in Dorset. It's in Dorset. And it's if you've ever watched that Walks with Julia Bradbury, she visits it. She visits it, and she talks to some woman And apparently they, at Halloween and stuff, they literally go up there naked and do all sorts of weird things. But during the day, hikers can walk up, and you won't believe how. I mean, it doesn't look steep there on that angle, but that is steep. It kills you getting up that hill. Absolutely kills you. I'm actually on the hill as this picture's taken, and again, this is my drone.
It's like a hidden pyramid.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was man-made or not, or if it's natural. It's also about 2 miles from the tallest cliff on the south coast, which is called Golden Cap.
Is it natural formation or is it man-made formation?
I don't know. They think it's natural, but it's always had these 7 trees on the top, and there's always a bit of a thing about the 7 trees and stories. There's a local brewery has this picture on the beer bottle. If you've ever watched Hugh Fearnley-Whittenstall in the early days when he used to do that cottage, Hugh Fearnley-Whittenstall he's like a TV chef, a bit like Gordon Ramsay, but totally opposite to Gordon Ramsay. He was a chef, and he basically quit and went to live in the countryside and to be self-sustaining, and he bought a little cottage, and he lives not too far from this place, and he's got a few businesses in the area, sort of thing, that he sprung up because he's sort of started making money and stuff now. But again, just when you're watching that show, you see that I'm like, we drive past the hill there's a main road that goes not past it, but because it's such a prominent shape, you see it. And we go just because you see it all the time. Every time we're going back to where we were staying in Dorset, I'm like, I've always wanted to go up that. And literally a few years ago, we were down there, I just went to my sister, said, I think I went with my brother the first time. I went, Matt, I've always wanted to go up that. And we just went. We left the girls and the kids, and me and my brother hiked up it, did this little route. And then a few years later, I went with my sister. I was down there with my sister about 3 years ago, and we did this. I said, right, Vic, you got to do this, and we'll go up this hill. And we did it, and they absolutely loved it. So I'm up there, my daughter's up there, my niece is up there. But you can't. There's a few other people that hike, and you can't quite see us because it's zoomed out. But that's the one and only time I nearly crashed my drone, because literally the battery was coming out, and when you got to a certain battery level, what the drone does is it does return to home. It goes, right, I've got enough to get back. So, but what the truck because the only flat bit on the top is the top. So I had to take the drone off under tree cover, fly it out of the trees, then down, return to home. It's programmed. It'll go, right, I know what height I took off at. I'm going to climb to 50 feet, go across, then come vertically down to where I landed, because that way I'm going to not crash into any houses that are in my way. And literally I was coming in, and I was about 10, 12 feet from me, and it started to just take off and go up instead of come down, which is because it had taken over my controls. And I was literally fighting with the controls, and I managed to override it and get hold of it. But because I got hold of the drone, I couldn't shut it off at the same time. It was a bit crazy, but that's the closest I've come to crashing it. So that was a bit crazy.
Few messages in the group where nothing, especially some regarding putting subliminal messages makes you watch it, because obviously the original TV station, obviously command and grams, they'll do it, but it's illegal to do it in adverts and so forth. Bobby Shafter says, bring a hammer or a screwdriver, Andy. I'll sign you in, Andy, as a tradesman.
Bobby, are you in the Two-Dart? Are you in the Masons? You're the second person I know that's in the Masons. If you are, I've been invited to join a couple of times, and I keep going, it's not for me.
Would he recognise that from? Can you see that? Can you see it very well? Is it shining?
Yeah, of course he'll recognise that. He's probably had to kill a virgin with his own personal one, and that's how he got in. Oh yeah, you can see the symbol on it. You can see the symbol on it, Carlos.
See it? Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I give the guy, you do the old, like the mafia, where you just shake hands and money's exchanged, and you put it into my pocket and stuff like that. So,
do you know the handshake then, Carlos?
Yes, I've been approached by the Freemasons twice. Been approached.
I'm waiting for Bobby to tell us if he's in. So,
just to let you know, I was talking to Nick about the Freemasons, and Nick will probably. He should confirm it, not deny it. I spoke to about 6 or 7 people about it, and everyone's saying, Carlos, don't get involved, don't get involved, X, Y, Z. And it was only Nick who says, go for it, Carlos, go for it. You know what I mean? So,
just because he wants to know. He wants to know. Apparently, you can find out on the internet what all the ritual things are. But
I was approached by the Grand Wizard. The Grand Wizard.
Yeah.
But I was so.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The Grand Master of that lodge?
Yes.
Because they rotate it every year, don't they?
This person is actually. I won't put pictures, but he's actually on the internet with pictures of him with all his robes and fucking Jaws shit on and stuff like that.
Did you watch the documentary? Last year before, that was really interesting. They've got like he's not a Mason, just a tradespeople. Here he's exempt, immune from all COVID rules. Oh, got you. What's it called? So yeah, they have certain lodges dedicated. So like one is to do with like I want to say comedians, but it's not. It's to do with like actors and stuff, and comedians, actors, people in the entertainment business. And there's a lodge for women because after numerous attempts of women pretending to be men and getting in, they just went, "Oh, we've had enough of this."
Well, this person who's the Grand Wizard, I think they call him. I won't name which because it's not too far from you. It's not Manchester, just to people thinking it's one outside of Manchester. He approached me and there's a picture of him with, I won't say he's famous, but a very influential owner of a football club. It's a famous football club, but not.
I don't have a clue who that is.
So that's what I'll say, but I can't say because there's pictures. That person approached me. I paid the visit. I went to the place, but it was just not for me. I don't know. I spoke to about 6-7 people. Everybody says, Carlos, walk away, walk away. It was only Nick who says, go for it, Carlos, go for it.
Why did he say walk away?
Why?
Yeah.
Because how they approached me and they wouldn't tell me how they come about me, how they knew. It's just basically they walked into my place of work.
Really? I don't. Yeah. I mean, mine. I've got a friend that is in.
So I just like that. Give you an insight to my family. The Garcias go back. I can trace the Garcias back to 1,000 years ago. Historically, very influential, powerful people. Apart from my father, who didn't like it, despised it. All the Garcias, from my grandfather right back to 800 years ago, were part of the Freemasons. So unless they would have had documentation from South America and Spain, then they were never free of Masonic. So they were apart from my dad, despised it. So I have, to my knowledge, I have no wealth, no title. Why they were interested in me? Why were they interested? I don't know. You wouldn't tell me how they got hold of me.
My friend, well, yours sounds a bit weird, but my friend's in the Masons, and he's asked me if I fancy joining because that's part of the thing. He describes it as it's like a brotherhood. It's like you all look after each other. If someone's ill, someone's out of a job, you rally around and help them out. They do a lot of work for charity. But their main charity is themselves, So they do a lot. I've been to a lot of fundraising gigs.
That's the selling point. That's like Cubs or Scouts or Girl Guide.
Yeah.
But the person who approached me wouldn't tell me how he came about me. I have no connections to him. No connections.
Well, that sounds very weird, but I don't think there's anything mysterious about it.
And they're after anything. I just said,
unless you're part of Jesus's bloodline, and we go back on the Dan Brown shit again.
No,
what they've done is they've tracked you from the Roslin place. They've worked out took pictures on your phone. They want you to join the Masons, and then they're going to beast you for.
Well, the other option, what my sister said, is information. I have information. That's it. So unless they wanted access to the information I have.
Yeah. How long ago was it? Paris thinks they found you in the podcast. And Bobby knows. Bobby thinks that it was maybe they were at the Goat Society that you
I
go
don't
to.
know, this was probably about, say, I'm sure Nick can correct me if I'm wrong. I spoke to Nick. Was it about 4 years ago?
Oh,
5
well
years?
before the podcast then.
Well before the podcast, yeah. It was well before 4 or 5 years ago. Because it was like there were certain things they were very sketchy. It says I would like to speak to Carlos Garcia, and they introduced me. Strong, firm handshake. They were very clear and concise, very businesslike, but very persuasive. Very persuasive. It's weird. It's quite intimidating. Not intimidating in a scary, but intimidating. Like I started referring to him, even though after about 20 minutes of speaking to I referred to him as Sir. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. I was like, weird. And I was probably in my 30s. He was probably late 50s, early 60s.
So he was grooming you.
No, I don't know. I don't know what it was. It's sort of like I just found it weird because I jokingly said, you know what? I come from a poor working class background. My father was a miner. My mum's a factory worker. But that's what I tell people. But it's a different. Whereas the Garcias from onwards is a different. It's a different world. It's a different. Which my dad told me never look it up. Which obviously. Someone like me, I'm very into my history and research and stuff like so, which I have looked up and spent the last 10, 15 years of who we are and what we are. But my dad walked away from all of it, completely. But there's other stories to it why he walked away from it. But yeah, I just found it interesting how they found me. They wouldn't tell me, how do you know who I was? How do you know where I work? How do you know I was actually working this day? Because I wasn't even meant to be in today. I switched my shifts and they wouldn't tell me anything. They wouldn't tell me anything. So they actually went to my place of work, introduced themselves to me.
Sounds very mysterious, Carlos.
And Nick knows about it because I spoke to Nick. And Nick, if he joins the group and says something about it, he'll literally he'll go, yeah, I spoke to it. I actually got advice from Nick. It was actually Nick who says, go for it, Carl, see how it goes. Go to the first meeting.
Why didn't you then?
I did. I didn't go to the second. Because they took me to the temple and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I got a funny feeling that they were going to sort of take a percentage of my salary.
Oh, well, it's not like it's Jehovah's Witness where you have to give a certain percentage of your salary to
I got the feeling that
they call it. But I believe it's about, you know, like when you go to clubs, you got to pay subs.
Yeah.
I believe it's about £800 a year to be a membership.
I got a funny feeling that they were
or
going to
take 80 quid a month.
Because I got the funny feeling they were talking about money, wealth, and stuff like that. I'm not saying they have to, but yeah, there was some kind of subs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They sold me on that kind. I'm not bothered about we can look after you. I'm all about knowledge. I'm all about knowledge.
Well, yeah. I mean, they've definitely got that, and you know, just to be on the inside of that would be absolutely cool. But the reason I said to my mate, not only do we not have a spare 80 quid knocking around, you know, but like you say, it might bring the connections might bring that money back tenfold. You don't know, do you? You know, or the money you can save. You know, if I've got some, you know, I need my roof redoing, there'll be someone in there. Or I mean, this place was full of it wasn't just people in the building industry. There was like he said look, you know, if you're a copper, you know, and if you're a copper and you're quite, you know, you're quite high up in the ranks, you can't just go down the pub with your mates and have a drink because you're visible all the time. So what you do is you join the Masons, you go there and you go down and they're your mates and you have a drink with them. I've been on race days and he's gone. He's such and such a guy. He's a thingy in the cops. He was such and such. He's retired now. And he's pointing all these people out to me. I'm going, all right, that's really interesting. And he's like, but they can't just go and have a drink in the local. You know, they come here because whatever happens here, whatever happens in this building stays in the building, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, it was like a boys club. He described it to me, and I'm sure the rituals and all that you can't talk about it, and you have to go and buy yourself a briefcase and a suit, and oh, Kate says anyone else is froze. We're still here, Kate. It's moving on my machine. Can you still hear us? Yeah, you're still here. It's just Kate's having trouble.
because it's like there's one person who was there. It was probably, like I said, it was about 5 years ago or something like that. I can name it now because obviously I don't think it'll come back and back many hours. Phil Gartside, he was there.
Right. Your audio's gone weird again.
Can you hear me now?
No, you're back, yeah.
Phil Gartside. He was a businessman. I think he died like maybe 3, maybe 4 years ago. I don't know, but it was obviously about 5 years ago. Something. Phil Gartside. He was a well-known football owner of Bolton Football Club. But there was people there who were high profile in that lodge. High profile. So if I wanted something to disappear, or a person to disappear, you could easily make it happen there.
Yeah.
So a quick look.
I'm just looking for the Masons documentary, man.
Found during the podcast. Our goat's your thing. I don't know what that means. Our goat's your thing. The greatest of all, the greatest of all time. That will be that. What do you mean by that, Bobby? Our goat's your thing.
Being in the masonry, man. Being in the masonry.
What does that mean, though? Goats and masonry.
Oh, because he thinks they sacrifice ghosts and stuff like that. I've put a link there to the. Kate, try dropping out completely and coming back. Might work. I've put
okay, if I can get to the toilet 1 second.
Yeah, go on.
1 sec. I need a piss. 1 sec.
Tell the world he needs the loo. So I think we've had a few extra viewers in the chat room, but they've been on the stream, but they've been quite quiet. If you've not commented, say hi. Sky Broadband. I've had awful trouble. I've been with Virgin Media since I moved into this house over 10 years ago, and I've had more problems in the past 2.5 weeks than I have in the whole rest of the time I've been here. Literally days where it's just gone off. Kate's with Virgin.
I'm back.
Hello.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. There you man. Yeah. We're talking ISPs, and who's your ISP? Who's your internet service provider?
Sky.
Oh, you're with Sky as well.
Because the thing is, I'm one of these people. I'm very loyal. Sky. I've been with Sky for 20 plus years, and Sky have been, apart from one bad customer experience, they've always been good to me. Even though I know I pay Sky more than any other service provider, every time I've had a problem, they've sorted it. Apart from one time, which they
all service providers have got to sort it, haven't they?
No, but I one of these people. I don't mind paying an extra 20, 30 quid extra a month, long as I know. I judge people or companies not on the service. Is when the shit hits the fan or something goes wrong. How good are they at?
Yeah. But if you're not with those other companies, you don't know, do you? You don't know what they're truly like. You're just basing it off what other people say, and people on their own. Can you get cable where you live? Is that an option?
Virgin, no, I don't think Virgin, no.
So yeah, so doesn't matter what you've got. It's all coming down a BT line. It doesn't matter if you're with BT. Doesn't matter if you're with Sky. Doesn't matter if you're with TechNet or whatever they're fucking called.
It's OpenReach, isn't it?
It's OpenReach and all. It's all coming down that one cable. Whereas Virgin's your only alternative, which means depending on how many people are coming off your local junction box and how far it is away, you're never going to get over a certain speed. Whereas at least with cable, it's fiber up to the box, and it's not fiber into your house, which is a myth. But the cable that they do run, the coaxial that they do run from the box, is insulated, so there's a lot less drop than there is with BTs.
The problem with Virgin, I don't like the interface interaction. That's it. I just don't. But,
yeah. Nick said the same. He went with them for a year. Nick said the same, but yeah, the boxes are changing. I mean, they're bringing a new box out soon, and it's all like just pictures. It's all just like pictures. It's just like how can you describe it? But you don't have your traditional menus and everything. It's all
interface and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
yeah, the Minority Report.
yeah.
What's the group? There's quite a few things.
Yeah, Kate started rapping.
What Kate says, I'm a virgin, but says I'm with virgin.
Yeah.
So that would have been the Immaculate Conception then, if it was I'm a virgin.
She started rapping. She's done 3. How many have you got to do, Kate? Well done. Hours to rap.
Cool.
Hours to rap and seconds to tell. Yeah, that's true.
It's I think Robbie Shafter.
I bet you're rapping the dog's presents, Commander Kremen. I bet that's dog's got more presents than you two.
I'm brilliant at rapping, mate. It's a different joke. What do you think of the Christmas star?
Oh, we couldn't see it last night. It was too cloudy. But the night before, I saw it the night before. My mum phoned me up. Oh, Andrew, Christmas star happened 800 years ago, and apparently it happened 2,000 years ago at the birth of Christ. I'm like, oh my god, you sound just like Carlos, Mum.
Listen to the podcast.
And if it did happen 2,000 years ago, it's a one night thing. There's no way wise men followed it for weeks through the desert, guiding them.
The Magi.
Yeah, the
here's a question for you, and this is you probably think the religious people listening will probably think I'm not. I'm just being thought provoking, probably blasphemous. If the 3 wise men or the Magi obviously delivered gold, frankincense, and myrrh to the baby Jesus, it wouldn't have been like a little tablet. It would have been probably crates of the stuff. That would make Jesus, Joseph, and Mary the richest family in all of Bethlehem and Israel.
That might be why the other dude was threatened by this new king that was being born and wanted Herod and went and chopped killed all the kids and stuff like that.
No, but that would make them the most powerful family in the whole of that part of the world. So what happened to all that wealth?
I don't know.
No, it's an interesting.
Who's saying they were giving him gold bars? It might have been his little necklace with a little bit of gold I found. I don't know.
But if you're a king giving another king a present, it's not like, oh, here's a chain. It would be here's a chest full.
Well, we talked about the Magi, didn't we, on the podcast? So, podcast, guys, is coming out at 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. So, yeah, Christmas podcast. Tomorrow is the anniversary of our first podcast.
1 year anniversary.
1 year anniversary, yeah.
Bobby Shafter asked something to Nick before. We did mention it about the BBC and subliminal messaging. Unless Bobby wants to elaborate a little bit on that. But obviously, no, because I like stuff like that.
I'm laughing at Bobby's last comment,
which is
brilliant. Did they give Joseph an acid tab to make him forget how many got preggers? How Mary got preggers? Sorry. Oh, do you know what? That's this video banned off YouTube.
Well, there's an interesting story on that one, because they say Mary could have got pregnant to a Roman soldier, which I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying these are the other stories flying around, which I read when I was in school. So I was like in a corner in the library reading about this, that Mary could have been pregnant by a German Roman soldier, because that would have been obviously when the German Empire was created. It was all pretty much most of Europe, and Mary derives from a very influential and powerful family, so she was impregnated by this Roman soldier. So yeah, if you Google Roman German soldier and Mary, then they talk about it. But
I mean, obviously,
I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone has had that thought that, we know it wasn't midichlorians. I mean, only idiots dream up midichlorians and make people pregnant and have babies through midichlorians. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Hey.
Yeah, what? You know what I'm talking about? Midichlorians. George Lucas.
No.
You know.
I know George Lucas. I don't know midichlorians.
Okay, so George Lucas.
Star Wars guy.
Yeah, when he did the prequels, and this is why I hated George Lucas. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want this video to get banned. When he made the prequels, we were so excited for it. And Anakin Skywalker, who becomes Darth Vader, this Jedi Master goes up to the mother and goes, "This guy's got the most. We've tested his blood. He's got loads of midichlorians, and midichlorians are what basically what make you. They're everywhere, but they're in his blood, and that's what makes you manipulate the Force." He's Master Yoda. His count's well over 3,000. Master Yoda's only like 2,000. We've never seen this before. Tell me who his father was. Oh, I didn't have a father. He was just born. He just became. I just got pregnant, and I turned to my mates in the cinema and went, oh my God, George Lucas is saying Anakin Skywalker's Jesus Christ, because he's literally just ripped off Mary, Immaculate Conception. I was like, oh my.
He's ripped off World War II as well.
I just went, oh my God. And it really, from that moment on, I went, this. I mean, not only that, but Jar Jar Binks as well. Just ruined it. Ruined the prequel trilogy for me. And anyway, so back to Mary. Everyone's had that thought. There's no way. It is impossible. Do you remember the rumours in school? Well, I don't think boys had this rumours, but I've heard girls say, "Oh, you sit on the same toilet seat as the boy, you can get pregnant." Maybe that's what happened to Mary. Maybe she sat on the same toilet seat as another boy and got pregnant. But maybe she was raped and she's not going to tell.
Can a woman get pregnant now without having intercourse with a man? Now, today.
Yes, but you still have to have semen put up there, don't you?
That's not the question. The question is, can a woman get pregnant now without intercourse?
Okay, so we're still saying that semen was involved and somehow it got inside her.
So the answer is yes, through IVF. So could they have, because obviously we could have.
It's not just IVF. There's other methods, but go on.
But IVF is obviously
turkey-based. What do all these single couples do?
So essentially you can still get impregnated by not having intercourse. Exactly, so could there be some form of? I'm not saying it could be some form of technology which we've lost, because people say, are we inventing technology or are we just rediscovering?
I don't think it's that, because she sold it as this miraculous thing because otherwise there'd be loads of stories. If this was a technology back 2,000 years ago that we've lost, there'd be loads of stories about women having kids without having sex. But I think, yeah, the most likely thing is, if it was true, she's lied to cover it up, and I don't know what this is, and poor old Joseph's gone along with it because he was so in love with her.
But no, it's an interesting story, because obviously that's changed the course of our history.
Even if it was real, it might not have been real.
But the not the mainstream, but historical and biblical scholars would agree that Jesus existed. They're not saying Jesus was the Son of God, but they're saying Jesus existed. But the one thing they say, which is very contradictory, is Moses, King Solomon, XYZ didn't exist, and King David didn't exist.
Yeah. Okay, that's the sort of stories girls are coming out with at school. Yeah, that, and sitting on the same toilet as a boy, and yeah, if you have sex while you're standing up, you can't get pregnant. All those sorts of stories. Yeah, but yeah, likely you can. There's talking of the old. You
don't believe it. You don't believe obviously you don't believe in Jesus and stuff. You think it's all made up, don't you?
I think there might have been people back then that stories were based on, but as far as I'm aware, the first written accounts were like 200 years after or something, or 100 years. Even 100 years after, it's 3 lifetimes back then. People only lived to 35 average age.
Yeah, because the New Testament was started, about 30. About, if you believe mainstream archaeology and the calendar system, that's why we start AD and ABC. Obviously, Jesus died at 33, and it starts from AD. So the literature started from something like 50, 60 AD. That's when all the literature started writing. So yeah, technically they wouldn't have met Jesus, but that's when all the documentation was written. And that's but I think we know about our history is wrong. It's all been manipulated. What's that?
If the Bible is true, we're all related. Kate, apparently you only have to go back to, you know how Danny Dyer was on that program, that DNA program. They go and find your history, and he went, "Oh, Danny, you're actually related to King Richard III, the guy they found in the car park. They found his body in the car park, Richard III."
Okay, no, it's King. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Richard, and apparently you pretty much everyone alive today, if you do the proper numbers, is related to him. So it's really weird how that works and stats work and stuff like that.
It's not related.
Oh,
you can
one second.
Link. You can link people. Not related.
I've got it. I've locked my Wi-Fi. I've got to go and open the door. What's that?
The Danny Dyer. So I'll answer your question there, Kate. Yeah, the Danny Dyer one. That was it. I'm not seeing it, but I've been told it's quite good. But yeah, as you can imagine, I don't know if I told people on here, I had quite a devout Roman Catholic upbringing. I went to an all-boy Catholic school, and I was educated by nuns and priests. So you can imagine my education to probably your education, to most people's education, being taught by nuns and priests. So as you can imagine, me sat here now, I'm a very inquisitive boy. So you can imagine me at 12, 13 years old asking all these questions, getting my parents dragged into school. How dare your son question this and question that? The question that got me absolutely into massive trouble, to the point where I nearly got suspended or expelled, is I said, so Jesus is the Son of God. We shouldn't question anything. And there's which I've got an idea of writing like a book or something. Depends on which calendar system you go off. We cannot account for 18 to 20 years of Jesus Christ. So 2/3 of his life depends on which calendar system you go off. So between the age of 10 to 13 to 30 to 33, we cannot account for that age. We can't account for it. It's the history books have gone bing, blank, and they say, how dare you question that, Carlos? But this is the Son of God. There should be some documentation. No, it's just literally between 18 to 20 years we cannot account for, literally, unless I've actually written to the Vatican, and I think
did you get a reply?
1833, the last time the Vatican let people, I think it's Pope Pius. I got an answer back. Pope Pius let in 1833. After that, nobody's been let in. The Vatican have 50 miles of literature, archives, historical books, which would change the course of history. I want access to that. I used all my Catholic upbringing, altar boy, my connections to the Roman Catholic Church, and they've not responded yet. But are you going to read what's coming out there, Andy? There's a few messages on there.
Yeah, what's that? So Bobby mentioned, I think he's mentioned this before, about why when something comes on the telly, you feel compelled to watch it, even though you can get it 24/7. I did the same the other day. I took my laptop downstairs while I was working, and Clash of the Titans was on, and I was like, oh, I'm just leaving this on. 1982 Clash of the Titans, or 1981. I was just like, oh, I'm watching this. The one where he has to chop Medusa's head off. So I was like, yeah, crazy. I don't know what it is. Don't know. Kate's kids go to a Catholic school. As for Mary, she's a test tube baby from Aliens. Dude, I'm gonna have to wrap it up because that wasn't my wife, but there's some dodgy guy hanging around outside. Yeah, I've unlocked the door now, but there's some dodgy guy hanging around outside. I don't know if
maybe the Men in Black.
No, some scally.
They might have gone look into this light up.
Yeah, well, it's not the first. We've had people walk into the house. We always keep the door locked now. We've had people walk into the house in the past thinking it was one of the neighbours. Just walk in and go, and literally get halfway into the living room and realise they're in the wrong place. You've frozen again anyway, Carlos. Sorry,
one sec.
you've frozen again.
I'm going to try. Okay, you got me now.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we probably need to call it a night anyway, guys. So have a fantastic Christmas. Are we on next week, Carlos?
Yeah, I'm up for next week.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going anywhere. We're not doing
Just
anything.
we're going to be partying or going to bars or restaurants.
No,
is it?
no.
So,
yeah, let's discuss what Christmas presents we got and stuff like that. But yeah,
if I've had any visitation.
Yeah, maybe. We want the real story. We want the real story. We want pictures of these aliens you've seen.
I'll give you a sample from that before. It gives you an idea of what's going on.
Get some multiple devices set up like you would if you were ghost busting, and I want you to replicate that Christmas Day after after you've had a few. Yeah, Mr. Paris. Yeah, cheers, mate. Speak to you soon.
Merry Christmas all, and I hope Father Christmas brings you everything you wanted and more.
It's been a crappy year, and it's probably going to get crappier after we're all forced.
I don't think it's been a crappy year. In terms of, materialistic, it's been crappy, but in terms of people spending more time with their families and friends, it's probably been better.
Possibly, but there's a lot of stress and stuff that comes, and not everyone's in a fortunate position where they've kept the job and got the same amount of hours.
That's been the horrible side. But in terms of, I've got mates of mine says like they don't see the kids, but now they're spending so much more time with their kids because they go to work at 6 a.m, come home at 8 o'clock at night. The kids are in bed. You only get to see them at the weekends.
Yeah, so I'm sure Kate will agree with me, but sometimes too much time with your kids is too much time with your kids, or even your spouse. So it's anyway, yeah. Right, guys, yeah. I've had a really good one, and yeah, let's have a catch up before New Year. We'll celebrate New Year together. In fact, I think we should live stream New Year, man. See the New Year in together.
Yes.
we're not doing anything. I'll sit here and get pissed at
I'm at home, so home alone. So yeah.
Exactly, we all are.
I'm home. Just let you know, people, I'm home alone. You know what I mean? All my family live elsewhere.
You are Kevin. Just watch out for the water bandits. That's got to be on. All right, guys. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.